Kens. Welcome back over to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Gab and I like to put out random videos of my everyday life. And here's a story time. I feel like I haven't done a story time in a while. And this story time is back from when I was like a baby. I don't know. I was like 19 and I'm 24 now. So like that kind of gives you a crazy roundabout. Kind of when I first started doing YouTube and like dipping myself into it and social media and getting myself in there. And yeah, and I just, to this day, I don't know the complete story. I don't know if the guy knew me. I don't know anything, and I can't tell you any information like that. I can only tell you what happened to me, and it went on for like a half a year after that. And to this day, who knows who has my identity? Maybe it's that creepy AT&T guy. Here's hoping he doesn't. So when I was 19, I decided to go off onto my own, like any young adult, maturing child, hello, and get their own phone plan. But also, mommy and daddy came with, because I like to ask my dad as like my little advisor with like a lot of stuff that has to do with like bills and financial, because I don't want to do something that I shouldn't, and I wanted to go onto a phone plan by myself to help me do credit. And guess what, just so you know, it's like what, 4 years later, and I have like no credit established still, because doing a phone plan apparently gives you none. I wish I knew that before. So I went up to AT&T, and disregards, I still have AT&T as my phone carrier. I like AT&T, they're fine, they're good, okay. But yeah, I went to AT&T to do my transaction, and the guy that I had there, first off, he was like young, as in like my age now. He wasn't bad looking, but he was just kind of like, there was something that was off with him. But it was one of those things that, like, looking back, I see it, but like in that moment, I would have never, like, you know, I'm just excited that I'm going to get my phone and I'm doing what I have to do. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't overthinking it the way I am now, and now I'm just like, wow, he was kind of weird. But this AT&T guy was getting all my information, as somebody does when you get a phone, and they were going over the part with my social with my parents. And I know that my dad had given the social before that, and I'm just browsing around looking at stuff. And again, the guy comes to me then, he's like, I need your social. And my parents are there and everything, and I'm like, oh, we gave it before to you, and like verbally said it. But he's like, can you just write it down? I forgot, in this other area is asking for your social now again, and blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll give you the social again. So I like wrote it on a piece of paper, not thinking, honestly, like anything. I wrote it down, walked away, you know, still looking around, and he said, okay, everything's good. Before we left too, and I do, like, this is kind of like a big deal of my story, we were getting all our paperwork, because like I'm one too, like if I'm at a place like that and someone is just even jotting notes or writing paperwork, I will grab all that and just take it with me, because that's like useful information I can keep for in the future. And the paper, it was just a regular blank piece of paper with my social on it.
It was gone.
And apparently it was thrown in the trash. So we're like looking, and he goes, oh,
that's just thrown in our trash already. That's gone. That'll be shredded. That's...
And like, again, not at this moment in time. This piece of hair. There we go. At that moment in time, I'm not thinking anything of it, but it was just something that was really odd, and I was just like,
okay.
Flash forward to like 3 months later.
2,000 years later.
When I'm going to make phone bills and everything on this phone that I'm paying off myself, because I did a plan where I paid the phone off. And I had AT&T calling me, telling me that my account was like screwed up and stuff. They were like,
oh, well, we're not getting like your payments for some reason.
And I don't honestly remember the whole story like that went along with it. But all I know is I would have to call their like customer service and try to talk to like higher ups all the time, because they're like, we're not getting like your right information or blah, 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 blah. So I called one day and waited on the phone forever to talk to a higher up. And then finally a higher up told me, he's like looking over my information. He goes,
you know what?
He's like,
this is why the account's saying it's not to you.
He goes,
your social is wrong on it.
Because I told him my social. He's like,
that's not the social we have in here for you.
And he's like,
gosh, I'm gonna have to give you to somebody else.
Because he's like, you know, it's over the phone. And like, it's my account. It has my name. It has everything on it. But the guy changed my social. And the thing is, too, he didn't change it by like one number or anything like that. He completely changed my social security. So I talked to like, now it had to be somebody like an AT&T corporate or something like that, because I just remembered being like, I want to talk to somebody else, I want to talk to somebody else, and just going up, 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 up. And I remember I had a friend at the time that summer helping me with it, because I would go a lot to flea markets and sell, and she would be there, and like she would, because she actually had a lawyer's degree. I don't talk to her anymore, but shout out to you, girl, if you're watching this. She was a lawyer. She had like her little, you know, license degree, like it wasn't BS. So she would always like chime in when I was on the phone and be like, from a lawyer's perspective, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. She would like yell at them and get in. And like obviously probably the people on the other line were like, she's definitely not a lawyer, but she was. And it was just really cool to like have somebody to help me and be on my side with it. But to be honest, we got nowhere. To this day, who knows if that crazy guy has my social security, why he even changed it. I eventually got down to it. I went into the store and they looked at all the information that was like from like backtracking from all those months of like calling and talking to corporate and doing all that. So obviously they changed my social the way it should have been, and the account was properly back over to me. But it's still like, I just remember yelling at AT&T and being like, what if in the future my credit's ruined, like I'm a young girl, what if he does something to my stuff? And they were like, well, there's no, I don't, what reasoning does this man have to do this? And they're like, why would you think? And I'm like, because of this whole scenario and the situation, like it concerned me. And they were just so, I'm not gonna lie, they were pretty nasty to me. They were just like,
There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do.
and it was one of those things where I couldn't get out of my contract because I had just got it. I was 19 years old and I couldn't pay like an over $1,000 sort of like bill for cancellation. So it was just like in a total mess. Like I said, to this day, I still have AT&T. I haven't had any issues like that, but I don't go to the store location at all anymore. And again, I'm very cautious when it comes to any kind of transactions like that. I just get really scared, even in something as simple as some people would say, but to me, not, because like if your social gets like stolen or something, like you're ruined, like that's your identity. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I don't know, I guess when you go to places and you give your social or anything like that, like don't write it down, like be very secretive. Like it's seriously an issue we have anymore with people stealing identities and stuff. And this was like years ago, guys. And like even to this day, there's just so much identity theft. So just be cautious, like buying online, doing any of that kind of stuff. And yeah, take my advice. It's not a good time. I love you guys so much. If you like this video, please thumbs it up. I'll subscribe to this channel down below. I put out new videos all the time. I'm looking into doing a giveaway, but like I don't know exactly how I want to do it. I wanted to do it for YouTube, but I might have like a post on Instagram where it's like, this is the post that you comment on if you want to enter, but not everybody has an Instagram. So maybe this video you can comment, but some people don't have YouTube. So it's just like, I don't know. Eventually I'll just post probably. I think I might just do a separate like Instagram giveaway and then a separate YouTube giveaway so it doesn't get too confusing. But anyways, I love you guys very, very much, and there'll be more updates about that in the future, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.